The stars twinkled silently in the vast darkness of space as the alien scout ships moved through Earth's solar system. Their sleek vessels, resembling polished obsidian, glided past Mars with sophisticated scanning equipment humming away. They were confident that this primitive world would pose no challenge to the mighty Galactic Council. Admiral Tajin Park stood motionless in the dimly lit command center, his weathered hands clasped behind his back as he watched the holographic display. The blue glow from the tactical readouts cast shadows across his face, highlighting the scars earned from years of service. He observed the alien vessels with keen interest as they methodically catalogued Earth's visible defenses. "Another scout ship is approaching Sector 7, sir," reported Captain Jai-Yun Lee from her station. Her fingers moved gracefully across the neural interface, the biosynthetic connection allowing her to process information at incredible speeds. "They're paying particular attention to our satellite network." "Let them look," Tajin replied, a slight smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "They'll see exactly what we want them to see." The holographic display showed thousands of satellites orbiting Earth, communication arrays, weather monitoring stations, and what appeared to be primitive defensive platforms. To the alien observers, it would look like humanity had barely mastered basic space technology. "They're scanning the lunar colonies now," Jai-Yun announced, her eyes flickering as data streamed through her neural link. "Their energy readings are getting stronger. They're really trying to peek under the surface." Tajin's smile grew wider. "And what are they finding, Captain?" "Nothing but what we've allowed them to see, sir. The quantum camouflage is holding perfectly. They're registering only the mining operations and research stations we've left visible." Deep beneath the lunar surface, in a chamber that dwarfed Earth's largest cities, Project Titan waited in silence. 30 years of secret development, countless resources, and humanity's finest minds had created something unprecedented, a weapon that would change the balance of power in the galaxy. "Sir," Jai-Yun's voice carried a note of amusement, "they're sending their initial assessment to their command. Would you like to hear it?" Tajin nodded, and a new hologram appeared, showing the translated alien transmission. "Planet Earth. Technology level 3.2. Defensive capabilities minimal. Space presence limited to primitive satellites and basic orbital stations. Recommendation: simple containment operation. No significant resistance expected." A quiet chuckle escaped the Admiral's lips. If they only knew what was sleeping under their feet right now. He walked to the massive viewport, staring at the distant shape of the moon. Somewhere in its depths, Titan waited, a warship unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Its dark matter core pulsed with enough energy to power a small sun, while its quantum-shifted hull could phase through conventional weapons fire, as if it were passing through mist. "Captain, what's the status of the maintenance crews?" Tajin asked, his eyes still fixed on the lunar surface. "All systems are green, sir. The last crew rotation completed their checks yesterday. Titan could be ready for launch within 6 hours if needed." The Admiral nodded slowly. "And our other preparations?" "The quantum communication network remains undetected. All defense platforms are in position and cloaked. The autonomous drone swarms are primed and waiting in their hidden bays across the solar system." A soft ping drew their attention back to the tactical display. Another alien scout ship had entered the system, larger than the others. Its design marked it as a command vessel. "Well," Tajin said, straightening his uniform, "it seems they're about to make their assessment official. Signal all stations to maintain current protocols. Let's give our visitors the show they're expecting." As the alien vessels continued their survey, believing they had found an easy target, humanity's true strength remained hidden. In the darkness beneath the lunar surface, Titan waited patiently for the moment when Earth would reveal that appearances can be deceiving and that underestimating humanity would prove to be the Galactic Council's greatest mistake. The command center fell into focused silence as they watched the alien ships complete their scan. Soon enough, the Council would make their move, confident in their supposed superiority. And when they did, Admiral Ta-Jin Park would be ready to show them just how wrong they were about Earth's capabilities. "Send word to all section chiefs," he ordered. "Begin final preparations. The real test is about to begin." The United Nations Security Council chamber was filled with tension as the massive hologram of the alien delegation flickered into existence. The crystalline beings towered over the assembled human representatives, their translucent forms refracting light in strange patterns across the walls. Defense Minister Hansol Kim stood at the podium, his face a mask of carefully controlled concern. Years of diplomatic training helped him maintain the appearance of a worried official representing a technologically inferior species. Inside, though, he felt a flutter of anticipation for what was about to unfold. "People of Earth," the lead alien ambassador's voice resonated through the chamber, its crystalline form pulsing with each word. "We represent the Galactic Council, the supreme authority of civilized space. We have assessed your world and found it lacking." Hansol watched as the other council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Some showed fear, others anger, all perfectly rehearsed reactions that had been planned for months. "Your species has barely mastered basic spaceflight," the ambassador continued, its tone dripping with disdain. "Your defensive capabilities are primitive. Your technology is centuries behind the galactic standard. We offer you a chance to submit peacefully to our authority and guidance." The defense minister gripped the podium tighter, playing his role perfectly. "Surely there must be room for negotiation," he asked, letting a slight tremor enter his voice. "Earth has much to offer the Galactic Council as independent allies." The crystalline being's form flickered with what seemed to be amusement. "You have 48 Earth hours to submit to Galactic Council authority. After that, we will take what we want by force. Your primitive defenses cannot hope to resist." In her hidden command center deep within Mount Cheyenne, General Sun Mai-cho watched the transmission with a slight smile. Her fingers hovered over the neural interface as she waited for the signal. The alien's arrogance was playing perfectly into humanity's plans. "And if we refuse?" Hansol asked, his voice echoing through the chamber. "Then your species will learn the price of defiance," the ambassador declared. "Our fleet stands ready at the edge of your solar system. They will make an example of Earth for any other primitive worlds that might consider resistance." A hologram flickered out, leaving the chamber in tense silence. Hansol turned to address the Security Council, maintaining his worried expression. "We must consider their demands carefully. The fate of our world hangs in the balance." Meanwhile, General Cho received the encrypted signal she had been waiting for. With a single command through her neural interface, she initiated Operation Awakening. Deep beneath the lunar surface, powerful systems began humming to life as Titan stirred from its long slumber. "Status report," she commanded, her voice calm and steady. "All systems responding, General," her aide reported. "Power core initialization at 30% and climbing. Quantum shields are charging. Weapon systems beginning their warm-up sequence." The massive chamber beneath the moon's surface came alive with activity as maintenance crews scurried to their stations. Titan's dark matter core pulsed with increasing strength, sending waves of energy through its massive frame. Back in the UN chamber, Hansol continued his performance. "We must evacuate our coastal cities," he declared, watching as the other representatives nodded in agreement. "Move our populations inland. Prepare for the worst." The council members broke into worried discussions, playing their parts in this elaborate deception. Emergency protocols were initiated across the globe, giving the appearance of a panicked civilization preparing for defeat. In reality, every evacuation pattern, every troop movement, every seemingly desperate action was carefully choreographed to convince the Galactic Council of Earth's helplessness. As the world appeared to descend into chaos, humanity's true defense forces moved into position with practiced precision. General Cho watched the preparation indicators on her display with satisfaction. "Time to full combat readiness," she asked. 36 hours, General. well within the alien ultimatum. She nodded, knowing that in less than 2 days, the Galactic Council would learn the true cost of underestimating humanity. Their arrogance had blinded them to the possibility that Earth's apparent weakness might be an elaborate deception. As the aliens celebrated what they thought would be an easy conquest, Titan's systems continued their awakening sequence. Soon, very soon, they would understand just how badly they had miscalculated. "Send word to Admiral Park," General Cho commanded. "Tell him Operation Awakening is proceeding as planned. The stage is set. Now we wait for our visitors to make their move." The darkness of space lit up with thousands of points of light as the alien armada dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Their ships filled the void between Mars and Jupiter, their metallic hulls gleaming under the distant sunlight. The fleet stretched as far as the eye could see, a display of power meant to terrify Earth into submission. Commander Dae Sung-yoon stood on the observation deck of Defense Station Alpha, deliberately designed to look outdated and vulnerable. He watched through the reinforced windows as the massive alien vessels moved into formation. Their ships ranged from sleek destroyers to enormous dreadnoughts, each one bristling with weapons that could reduce a planet to ash. "Commander, they're broadcasting on all frequencies," reported Lieutenant Minna Kang, her fingers moving across the old-style control panel. "They want everyone to hear this." "Put it through," Dae Sung ordered, fighting back a smile as he maintained his concerned expression. The alien commander's voice filled the station, dripping with contempt. "Look at them," it sneered. "They still use chemical propulsion on their satellites. Their largest space station is barely the size of our smallest support vessel." Dae Sung and Minna exchanged knowing looks. The aliens were falling for every detail of their deception, right down to the purposefully inefficient design of their defense stations. "Their main defense platform doesn't even have energy shielding," another alien voice added with what sounded like laughter. "This will be easier than subduing a pre-spaceflight civilization." Deep beneath the lunar surface, massive hangar doors that hadn't moved in decades began to shift. Titan's launch bay, hidden from even the most advanced scanning technology, prepared to reveal humanity's true power. "Sir," Minna called out, "they're moving into attack formation. Their lead ships will be in weapons range in 20 minutes. Dae Sung nodded, watching as the alien fleet spread out in a classic encirclement pattern. They weren't even bothering with complex tactics, convinced that Earth's defenses would crumble at the first shot. "Send the coded signal to Lunar Command," he ordered quietly. "Let them know the enemy is positioning exactly as predicted." The alien ships continued their advance, their weapons charging with visible displays of power. Energy readings from their fleet were off the charts, enough firepower to glass a dozen planets. "Another transmission coming in," Minna announced. "They're broadcasting their targeting data openly. They want us to see where they'll strike first." The alien commander's voice boomed through the station again. "You should feel honored. We rarely deploy a fleet of this size for such an insignificant world. Your destruction will serve as an example to others who might resist Galactic Council authority." Warning klaxons began blaring throughout the station as the alien weapons locked onto Earth's major population centers. The defense station's outdated sensors screamed warnings about the overwhelming force headed their way. "They're targeting New York first," Minna reported, her voice steady despite the apparent danger. "Then Beijing, London, and Moscow. They plan to eliminate our largest cities in the first wave." Dae Sung pressed a button on his console, activating a secure quantum channel that the aliens couldn't detect. "Lunar Command, this is Defense Station Alpha. Enemy fleet is committed to their attack pattern. I repeat, they are fully committed." The response came instantly through his neural implant, bypassing all conventional communication methods. "Acknowledged, Commander. Titan's launch sequence is initiated. Maintain current protocols until the signal." He turned to Minna, speaking loudly enough for the station's obvious monitoring systems to pick up. "Send an emergency transmission to Earth Command. We need to deploy everything we have." The alien fleet drew closer, their weapons systems fully charged. Their confidence was absolute, believing they faced nothing more than a primitive civilization's token resistance. Final warning from the flagship, Minna announced. They're demanding immediate surrender. Dae-sung activated the station's external communications. Please, he begged, letting fear color his voice. We need more time to evacuate our cities. The alien commander's laugh echoed through the station. Time's up. Primitives, watch as your pathetic defenses crumble before real power. As the alien fleet moved into their final attack positions, Dae-sung received another neural message. Deep within the moon, Titan's massive engines were powering up. Soon, very soon, these arrogant invaders would learn the true meaning of power. All stations, he transmitted on the public channel, prepare for defensive action. The fear in his voice was perfect, masking the anticipation he felt as he waited for humanity's true strength to be revealed. The aliens would learn too late that appearances can be deceiving, and that underestimating humanity would be the last mistake their mighty fleet would ever make. The massive command center hummed with barely contained power as Titan awakened from its decades-long slumber. Director Jae-won Choi stood at the central platform, his hands resting on the polished railing, as he watched the greatest technological achievement in human history come to life before his eyes. Dark matter core at 60% and rising, called out Chief Engineer Hae-jin Ryu from her station. Her fingers danced across the neural interface as she monitored the ship's awakening systems. All containment fields are stable and holding. Titan was beautiful in its terrible power. 15 kilometers of advanced technology that had remained hidden from the galaxy's prying eyes. Its hull, crafted from materials that shouldn't exist according to known physics, absorbed all light that touched it. The ship was literally a piece of engineered darkness. Begin final launch sequence, Jae-won ordered, his voice steady despite the anticipation building in his chest. Show me the enemy fleet's position. A holographic display materialized in the center of the command deck, showing the alien armada spreading out across the solar system. Their ships, which had seemed so impressive before, looked like toys compared to Titan's true scale. Phase shift drives responding perfectly, Hae-jin reported. Quantum shields are at maximum capacity. Weapons systems are hot and ready. The lunar surface above them began to crack and shift as Titan's massive form started to rise. Decades of careful planning had gone into this moment. The moon's regolith parted like water, revealing the void black hull of humanity's ultimate defender. Enemy fleet has not yet detected our power signature, the tactical officer announced. Their sensors are still focused on Earth's decoy defenses. Jae-won allowed himself a small smile. Activate the gravity wells. Let's make sure none of them can run when they realize what they're facing. Deep within Titan's core, exotic matter swirled in carefully controlled patterns, generating enough energy to power a small star. The ship's systems, far beyond anything the Galactic Council had ever encountered, hummed with readiness. First section breaching lunar surface now, Hae-jin called out. Hull integrity at 100%. No stress detected from the transition. The command deck's external viewers activated, showing Titan's emergence in real time. The ship's surface seemed to drink in the starlight, creating a shape of perfect darkness against the star-filled sky. Even the sun's reflection seemed to bend around its hull. Signal from Earth Command, the communications officer reported. They're asking if we need more time. Tell them we're right on schedule, Jae-won replied, watching as more of Titan revealed itself. The aliens won't know what hit them. The ship's weapon systems came online one by one, gravitational lances capable of tearing apart matter at the subatomic level, quantum torpedoes that could phase through conventional shields, and swarms of autonomous drones powered by artificial intelligence far beyond anything the galaxy had seen. Sir, Hae-jin called out, excitement creeping into her voice. Main batteries are charged and ready. The dark matter core is performing beyond expected parameters. As Titan rose fully from its lunar birth, its true scale became apparent. The alien fleet's largest dreadnought would barely match one of Titan's escort bays. The ship was a testament to humanity's determination and ingenuity, built in secret while the galaxy dismissed Earth as a backwater world. Launch bay doors are opening, the flight control officer reported. Drone swarms are primed for deployment. J1 straightened his uniform, feeling the weight of the moment. Send word to all sections. This is what we've trained for. Today, we show the galaxy that humanity will not bow to threats or intimidation. The final locks released, and Titan hung free in space for the first time, its massive form casting a shadow on the lunar surface below. Decades of preparation, countless resources, and humanity's finest minds had created something unprecedented, a weapon that would change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. "Sir," Hai-Jin said, looking up from her station with a fierce grin. "Titan is ready for combat operations. All systems are green across the board." "Very well," J1 replied, his voice carrying across the command deck. "Take us into weapons range. Let's show our visitors what a primitive species can do." As Titan moved toward the alien fleet, its surface seeming to bend space itself, the command crew felt a surge of pride. Soon, very soon, the Galactic Council would learn that appearances can be deceiving, and that underestimating humanity had been their greatest mistake. The time for hiding was over. Titan had risen, and the galaxy would never be the same. Energy beams from 1,000 alien ships converged on Titan's position, enough firepower to vaporize a small moon. The alien fleet commanders watched with satisfaction, certain they had destroyed Earth's pathetic attempt at resistance. But their triumph turned to shock as Titan simply phased through the barrage, the destructive energy passing harmlessly through its quantum-shifted hull. Impossible. The alien commander's transmission crackled with disbelief. No technology can survive that level of firepower. Captain Kyung-ho Nam stood calmly on Titan's bridge, a slight smile playing across his face as he watched the enemy fleet's formation begin to waver. Their confidence was crumbling as they faced something beyond their understanding. "Status report," he called out, his voice steady and clear. "Phase shields holding at maximum efficiency," his tactical officer reported. "Their weapons cannot touch us. Dark matter core is stable and ready for offensive operations." Kyung-ho nodded, his smile growing wider. "Signal the fleet. Activate the quantum network." Across the solar system, thousands of hidden defense platforms shimmered into existence as their cloaking fields dropped. The platforms had been waiting for years, invisible to even the most advanced scanning technology. Each one was armed with weapons that made the alien fleet's armament look primitive in comparison. Operations Director Eugene Park's voice came clear across the quantum channels, reaching every human vessel and platform simultaneously. "All units, you are weapons-free." The alien fleet's neat formation dissolved into chaos as they suddenly found themselves surrounded. Their scanning systems, overwhelmed by the sudden appearance of so many powerful energy signatures, could barely keep up with the tactical situation. "This is impossible," the alien commander broadcast again. "You are a primitive species. You cannot have this level of technology." Kyung-ho keyed his communications panel. "You should have looked closer," he replied calmly. "You saw what we wanted you to see. Now you'll experience what we can really do." Titan's main weapon systems came online, dark energy coursing through channels that defied conventional physics. The ship's hull seemed to absorb even more light, becoming a void in space that threatened to swallow everything around it. Multiple enemy vessels attempting to enter faster than light travel, the sensor officer reported. "Activate the gravity wells," Kyung-ho ordered. "No one leaves until they understand their mistake." Invisible fields of distorted space-time spread out from Titan and the defense platforms, trapping the alien fleet in normal space. Their fastest ships tried to escape, but found themselves held in place by forces they couldn't comprehend. "Sir," his tactical officer called out, "the enemy flagship is charging its main gun. They're concentrating all power into a single shot." Kyung-ho watched the massive energy buildup on his tactical display. "Let them fire. It's time to demonstrate why appearances can be deceiving. The alien flagship's weapon discharge, a beam of pure destruction that would have split a planet in half. It struck Titan dead center and vanished into the ship's quantum field, absorbed and redirected into its own power systems. "Thank you for the energy donation," Kyung-ho transmitted to the increasingly panicked alien fleet. "Now, allow us to return the favor." Titan's dark matter core pulsed, and streams of concentrated gravitational force lashed out at the enemy vessels. Ships began to crumple as space itself twisted around them. Their mighty shields, useless against this form of attack, offered no protection. "Multiple enemy vessels are powering down," the tactical officer reported with satisfaction. "They're signaling surrender." Across the solar system, the hidden defense platforms continued to reveal themselves. Each one was a testament to humanity's true technological advancement, a carefully planned surprise for any force that dared to threaten Earth. "Signal from Earth Command," the communications officer announced. "Director Park is requesting a status update." Kyung-ho looked at the tactical display, watching as more alien ships surrendered. Their mighty armada, which had approached Earth with such confidence, was now trapped and helpless before humanity's real power. "Tell Earth Command that the situation is well in hand," he replied, "and inform our guests that we're willing to accept their unconditional surrender. After all, we wouldn't want to appear uncivilized." The alien commander's next transmission was markedly different from their earlier arrogance. We surrender. Please, stop the attack. We had no idea." "No, you didn't," Kyung-ho responded. "That was rather the point. Perhaps next time, you'll think twice before dismissing a species as primitive based on what they choose to show you." The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency as they coordinated with the defense platforms to secure the surrendering alien vessels. Years of preparation and training were paying off as humanity revealed its true strength to the galaxy. The tables had turned, and the Galactic Council was about to learn a valuable lesson about underestimating Earth. The vastness of space lit up with destructive energy as Titan's gravitational lance sliced through the alien flagship. The massive vessel, pride of the Galactic Council's fleet, split cleanly in two as though cut by a cosmic blade. Admiral Jin Woo-Kwan watched from his command station, his eyes fixed on the tactical display as the enemy ship's pieces drifted apart. "Direct hit confirmed," Lieutenant Su-Min Chung reported, her fingers dancing across the neural interface. "Enemy flagship's power core is destabilizing. Their shields never even registered our attack." Jin Woo nodded, watching as panic spread through the alien fleet. Their neat formation, maintained with such arrogance at the start of the battle, was crumbling into chaos. "Launch the drone swarms," he ordered. "Let's show them what else we've been hiding." Titan's massive launch bays opened like giant maws in the void black hull. Thousands of autonomous fighters poured out, their quantum drives leaving no exhaust trail as they accelerated toward their targets. Each drone was a masterpiece of human engineering, armed with weapons that ignored conventional defenses. "They never bothered to look past our decoys," Su-Min noted with satisfaction, directing another wave of drones toward a cluster of enemy cruisers. "All those primitive satellites and defense stations, they saw exactly what we wanted them to see." The alien fleet's communication channels were filled with panic and confusion. Their weapons, powerful enough to destroy planets, passed harmlessly through Titan's phase-shifted hull. Their shields, thought to be impenetrable, offered no protection against gravity weapons that bent space itself. Enemy vessels attempting to regroup near Mars orbit, the sensor officer called out. "They're trying to form a defensive sphere." Jinwoo allowed himself a small smile. "Target their formation with the gravitational disruptors. Let's see how well they coordinate when space itself turns against them." Titan's secondary weapons activated, creating zones of twisted spacetime around the alien ships. Their attempts at organization dissolved as their vessels were pulled in different directions by forces they couldn't understand or resist. "Admiral," Su-Min called out, The drone swarms have achieved target lock on their support ships. Permission to engage. Granted, Jinwoo replied. Show them no mercy. They came to our home intending to destroy us. Let them learn the price of such arrogance. The autonomous fighters struck with devastating precision. Their quantum weapons phased through enemy shields and armor, striking critical systems with surgical accuracy. Ships that had terrorized countless civilizations were now helpless before Earth's true military might. Enemy destroyers breaking formation. The tactical officer reported. They're trying to retreat to faster-than-light jump points. Activate the quantum net. Jinwoo ordered. No one leaves until we're finished teaching them this lesson. Hidden generators throughout the solar system powered up, creating a web of distorted space that trapped the alien fleet in normal space. Their fastest ships found themselves unable to escape, caught like insects in humanity's carefully prepared trap. Sir, Sumin announced, we're detecting multiple power core failures across their fleet. They're starting to abandon their vessels. Jinwoo watched as escape pods launched from the dying ships. Each pod was quickly tagged and tracked by Titan's sensors, ensuring no enemy combatant would escape detection. Begin recovery operations, he commanded. I want every survivor contained and secured. The Galactic Council needs to understand exactly what happened here today. The battle continued to unfold with mechanical precision. Humanity's hidden strength, carefully concealed for decades, was now unleashed in its full fury. The alien fleet, which had approached Earth with such confidence, was being systematically destroyed by weapons they hadn't known could exist. Admiral, the communications officer called out, we're receiving surrender signals from the remaining enemy capital ships. Jinwoo nodded slowly. Accept their surrender, but maintain combat readiness. Signal all drone swarms to hold position, but keep weapons locked on targets. As the remains of the alien fleet powered down their weapons, Jinwoo allowed himself to feel a moment of pride. Years of preparation, countless resources, and humanity's finest minds had created this victory. The galaxy would never again mistake Earth's apparent weakness for vulnerability. Send word to Earth Command, he ordered. The threat has been neutralized. The counterattack was successful beyond our highest expectations. The stars watched silently as humanity's true power was finally revealed. The age of hiding was over, and the galaxy would never be the same. The grand chamber of the Galactic Council, with its soaring crystalline arches and ancient symbols of power, had never been so quiet. Ambassador Sung Min Park stood at the center of the vast circular room, his calm presence a stark contrast to the tension filling the air. Behind him, a massive hologram of Titan hung in the space, its void-black hull seeming to absorb even the light from the chamber's illumination. The council members, representatives of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations, shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Just days ago, they had sneered at Earth's primitive defenses. Now they stared at the human delegation with a mixture of fear and disbelief. Honorable members of the council, Sung Min began, his voice carrying easily through the chamber. For centuries we prepared, while you saw what you expected to see, a primitive species fumbling toward the stars. We built, we learned, we advanced. Chief Scientist Lun Jai Li stepped forward, her movements graceful and confident. With a simple gesture, she activated the chamber's display systems. The air filled with holographic representations of human technology that made even the most advanced council members gasp. These are not concepts or prototypes, she explained, rotating a detailed schematic of Titan's dark matter core. This is what we achieved while you dismissed us as barely worth noticing. The council leader, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline form, spoke first. Impossible. No species could hide such advancement. Our surveys saw exactly what we wanted them to see. Sung Min interrupted politely. A lesson, perhaps, about the dangers of arrogance and assumptions. EMG brought up another display, showing the network of quantum-linked defense platforms that had remained hidden throughout Earth's solar system. Your best scanning technology couldn't detect these because we developed methods beyond your current understanding. The chamber erupted in murmurs as the council members spoke among themselves. Some appeared angry, others frightened, but all of them understood that the galaxy's power structure had changed forever. "You come to make demands?" the council leader asked, trying to maintain some semblance of authority. Sung Min smiled slightly. "We come to establish understanding. Earth will no longer accept the role of a primitive outsider. We have earned our place among the stars, not through conquest, but through patience, innovation, and the determination to protect our home." More holograms appeared, showing the full extent of human advancement. Quantum communication networks that operated instantly across vast distances, gravity manipulation technology that bent space itself, and artificial intelligence systems that made the Council's best computers look primitive. "Your fleet's attack on Earth was unfortunate," Yunji continued, "but it served a purpose. It showed the galaxy that appearance and reality are often very different things." The council members watched in stunned silence as she displayed footage from the battle. Titan phasing through their most powerful weapons, autonomous drones systematically dismantling their greatest warships, and defense platforms appearing from seemingly empty space. "We do not seek revenge," Sung Min assured them. "We seek partnership, but on equal terms. The era of dismissing Earth as a backward world is over." One of the council members, a being of crystalline structure, raised its appendage. "And if we refuse these equal terms?" The hologram of Titan seemed to grow darker, its presence in the chamber more menacing. "Then you will have learned nothing from recent events," Sung Min replied calmly. "But we trust in the council's wisdom to avoid such mistakes." Yunji activated one final display, showing Earth's proposed terms for joining the galactic community. The documents were comprehensive, covering everything from trade agreements to mutual defense pacts. "The choice is yours," she said. "But remember, humanity will never again hide its true strength. We have earned our place among the stars, and we intend to keep it." The council chambers fell into contemplative silence. The representatives of 1,000 worlds looked at the human delegation with new eyes, seeing not the primitive species they had dismissed, but equals who had outsmarted them all. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted, and it would never be the same again. Humanity had not just survived, they had changed the cosmic order forever, armed with patience, ingenuity, and the wisdom to know when to reveal their true strength. The age of human isolation was over. A new chapter in galactic history was about to begin.